Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing fine. Continuing yesterday's lecture about the components of mobile marketing and why having a mobile friendly website is very important. Yesterday I told you that in order we talked about ranking factors, and in order for your website to be popping up in the search engines, it's very important for your website to be mobile friendly. Now, many of the search engines, most of them, and most importantly, Google, counts the mobile friendliness of a website as a ranking factor. So I've already talked to you about the crawling and the indexing of a website. So indexing means that where exactly is your website going to be put when we talk about a search result web page. So say for example you're searching for shoes. So if your website includes the keyword shoes, it's going to show up in the first page. And where exactly on the first page? Will it be in the first organic? Will it be the first organic result, or the second or third, or where? So it has Google has more than 200 ranking factors in order to decide which website deserves the first place and which second. That's what we call the indexing, which website lands on which spot. So in order to reach that decision, Google checks close to 200 and even more than over 200 ranking factors for each website. Now they don't disclose all of these factors, but some we have compiled, and we'll talk about this in our SEO part of the syllabus. But for now, all you need to know is that ranking one of the ranking factors, indexing factors, is also the mobile responsiveness of your website. So say for example, if the search engines or Google does not find your website mobile friendly, it'll not show up in their search results. So that's going to cost your business, your website, your traffic a lot, because if it doesn't show up, like I told you yesterday, almost close to 67% of the users, mm, you know uh, they access websites through mobile phones. That is how important it is for a website to have mobile responsiveness. Also, there is a thing called dwell time, which means how much time a customer or a user is going to be putting in checking your website or landing on your website. Say for example, you're searching for digital marketing notes, and then you have 2 3 results of websites there, and then say for example you click the first result. So how quickly that website loads, what information that website has, what kind of content it has, is it easily understandable? Or within the first 5 or 6 seconds, a user decides if he or she is going to stick around in the website, or explore the website, or look at it, or go through the article or whatever. That is how much time it takes. That is the dwell time. We call it a dwell time. How much time a customer is going to take whether to stay on your website or not. And if they do not like even the aesthetics of your website count a lot. But many times we've seen, if people are going for the aesthetics, it's kind of not possible for them to focus on the fact that it has to be simple and easily loadable first. So you can't have too many pictures, too many videos, and a heavy website that takes a lot of time to load. It has to be simple, responsive, elegant, and classy at the same time, and attractive too. So all of those things you have to consider while you're choosing or selecting a website template, or even if you're making it from scratch, you're a developer, you also have to take care of all those things. Now that's why it's important. And uh, for each, now you'll tell me, what does mobile responsiveness or mobile friendliness mean for each search engine? What does it mean? The first thing that means is the website does not return any mobile specific errors. It means that it loads on mobile phones. It adjusts and renders to the mobile screen. Say for example, हमारे लैपटॉप की स्क्रीन 12 इंचेस, 13 इंचेस, 16 ऐसे करके होते हैं, 18 इंचेस, 22 इंचेस होते हैं. But our mobile phones are max to max, I've seen 6.5 inches. I don't think I've seen a mobile phone that has a 7-inch screen that becomes a tablet. Then you have other series of, you have other categories of devices called tablets. Then Samsung के आते हैं. So many companies have their own tablets. So उनकी range फिर ranges from 7 to 12 inches का screen. But by and large, when we talk about mobile phones, so for a website to open on an 18-inch screen, on a laptop, and then we also open in the same way on a 6-inch screen or a 5-inch screen, however your the dimensions of your mobile phone are, is very important without losing any of its touch. तो ऐसा होता है most of the times when you're a developer and you're creating a website from the scratch. I'm not talking about the websites that give you templates for free like Wix and WordPress. So there are options in Wix and WordPress as well जहाँ आप खुद से scratch से websites बना सकते हैं. So it is not to say that you will always you have to only select websites from a particular template that they're providing. No, if you want, you can make it from the scratch. But if you're not a developer and you're just going out and you want a good enough website and you only want to have a few edit changes like the descriptions and the content and all of that, pictures, बाकी आप चाहते हैं कि template आपको बना बनाया मिले, so Wix and WordPress and Blogger, all of these websites give you that, which we're going to learn in the future. We're going to learn Blogger as well as Wix. So needless to say, वहाँ जब हम Wix पे जाते हैं and we create a website for our own, it's important to keep in check कि आपकी जो website है, आपको जो template है, it is mobile responsive. और if you're creating a website from scratch, उसमें भी आपको ख्याल रखना पड़ता है आपके dimensions क्या है, आपकी all of these things you have to take care of, because many times what happens is you create a website. I have had a personal experience of people creating a website. I've seen it happen, and then when they publish it without checking whether it works on different screens or not, you have to, before publishing any website or before even when you purchase a domain name and then publish it and go live and make your website go live, before that I would suggest you to go on each and every screen and check it out. Check out the test link everywhere, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a mobile phone, and see if all the dimensions fit. By dimensions I mean आपका logo जहाँ है वो सही बैठ रहा है या नहीं, आपका जो margins है website के वो सही आ रहे हैं नहीं, सारे article सही आ रहे हैं. आपने देखा होगा कभी आप कोई website पे click करते हैं और उसका आधा article वहीं रह जाता है. You're only able to read half of it. You either have to zoom it out or or see the desktop version, तब जाके आपको website दिखती है. ऐसा कई बार देखा होगा आपने. So that is one thing that you have to consider. I once clicked on a website and I had already accessed that website, so I knew what it looked like. I used to check that website a lot. So when I checked it via my mobile phone, I saw that the logo was cut off. I couldn't even see the logo, and some of the text was also cut off from the sites. So that is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that it has to be mobile responsive. Almost close to 98% websites are mobile responsive nowadays, because uske bagair chalega nahi, because I told you maximum number of customers or users you get are from mobile phones. So that is one thing. And the second thing is the website information loads fast. I told you already. The first thing was that it does not return any mobile specific errors, and the second thing is that it loads fast. The third thing is that the text, images and the videos fit on the screen without side to side scrolling or zooming. Now this is important. मैंने अभी आपको बोला कि कभी कभी आपको दिखता नहीं है, टेक्स्ट बराबर फिट नहीं होता, so you have to zoom it out or you have to keep scrolling to the right, to the left to check all the things. That is what I mean by it is not mobile friendly, because you shouldn't have to keep zooming it out or scrolling it, because then it means that it has not adjusted to the width or the dimensions of the mobile phone screen. So that shouldn't happen. It should immediately load on your screen, and it should fit the size of the screen, and you should be able to see all the text, images, videos clearly. They shouldn't be cut off, and it should also not return any error. So there is that. So yeah, we always say that we have to make sure our website is mobile friendly only because we want to make the experience of any user. Even you must have been a user for so many websites. Whenever you go to Amazon, Nykaa, or even as small as SlideShare or LinkedIn, all these websites, when you visit, you want your experience to be seamless. The same way, you don't want it to be hindered, or you don't want, because customers, like I told you, the dwell time is very less nowadays. People don't have patience at all to wait for a website to load. Many times what you do is हम कभी कोई website load करते नहीं खुल रही है, back करके दूसरा result check कर लेते. Why does that happen? Because we don't have any patience in us to keep waiting around for a website to load. So that is why it's important. And so 64% of mobile web users abandon pages if they don't load within 10 seconds. Like I told you, the dwell time is between 5 and 6 seconds. So if your website does not load between the, so but the dwell time is mostly considered with the fact कि आप जाके एक वेबसाइट पे once it opens or once it loads, then you take your time whether you want to stay or not. That's a little different from what they're trying to tell here. So within 10 seconds, if your website does not load, 64% of people will just leave and explore other options. So you don't want to do that, because any other website that has, popped up in the result that your website has popped up in is essentially your competitor. Say for example, when we type in digital marketing in Srinagar, and NIIT's result comes on top if there is no ad there. I'm talking about organic results. So if NIT Srinagar comes on top, and then the next thing is Vidya, digital Vidya or something like that. So if somebody is clicking on NIT Srinagar and within 10 seconds the website is not loading, they'll go back and the next result would be Digital Vidya, which is essentially a very big competitor to NIT Kashmir. Not in the sense that they have this many, what do you call it, centers, but they provide online digital marketing training. So in this field, in this particular field, they are a competitor to us. So we wouldn't want any chance, or we wouldn't leave any stone unturned that, any user that is meant to come to us will go to somebody else. That is why you need to take care of all these things. Then you have 35% of users fail to make an intended purchase because the website they visit isn't mobile friendly. Now, since they're talking about purchase, it means it's talking about the shopping part of the websites. So now you have all these shopping websites called, you have Snapdeal, Flipkart, Amazon, you have Alibaba. So if they want mobile friendly, now I'm not talking about the applications, I'm still talking about the websites. uh, Although all of these websites were very, quick and fast in developing applications. In fact, Flipkart had closed down its website for a very long time. They didn't have a website, or they closed down their website. They would only take orders on applications because they wanted to drive all the traffic towards the application. Many times you will see Amazon, Snapdeal, Myntra, Jabong, they provide extra discounts for people who are downloading from the application itself, and they do not put so much attention or more attention towards the website than they do on the applications. But right now I'm talking about the website, because Myntra, Jabong and Flipkart, I believe, had applications first, or they had applications and websites simultaneously. So like the website didn't come first and then came the application. That didn't happen. And even Nykaa had an application first and then they had their website. So for some shopping websites that came first, 35% of the users, if they couldn't access the websites from the mobile phone, or if it was difficult to access it, they used to fail to make purchase. That has happened to me actually. I had this hokmakeup.com, this website. So I saw the ad on Instagram. So I tried to click it and they redirected me to the, website, a particular website, and I knew it was authentic firstly. So when I tried to make a purchase, it wouldn't click, even though it was mobile friendly, but it wasn't as responsive as I'd like it to be. It wasn't clicking and the page wasn't loading, and eventually I ended up leaving the website altogether. But even what happened was, they don't have an application on App Store either. You have to actually share and, copy the icon or copy. It was a lengthy process actually, but I got the application somehow on my phone, but it wasn't from the App Store itself. So I had to click a few buttons around in the website itself and I got the application, but even their application is not responsive. So even if I want to make a purchase, I cannot, because there is something wrong with their website and there are some mobile errors that keep happening. So that is speaking from personal experience. So as long as I don't feel confident enough and everything is fast and seamless and, clear and specific to me, I probably wouldn't make a purchase like that. Then you have 90% of the C-suite use mobile devices to conduct research for business purchases. Now, what is a C-suite? It is a term used for executive level people, the board of director level people. Like you have CEO, you have CFO, you have COO, you have CIO. So you have a chief executive officer, then you have chief financial officer, then you have chief operating officer, and you have chief information officer. In some companies, there are more C's In some companies, there are not. But the C-suite is mainly called the upper level executive class people that come under the C's. So 90% of those people use mobile devices to conduct research for business purchases also. Say for example, why are we talking about C-suite here is because the big decisions, the investment part of the decision, the purchase part of the decision, how much are you going to invest in a business, if you're going to partner with another business or not, if you're going to, even when it comes to, what do you call it? What is that called? CSR. Yeah, even when it comes to social investment जब आप करते हैं अपनी कंपनी की तरफ से, जैसे जेके बैंक का मैंने आपको बोला था, बैंक है वो, but it gives out to the society. They make public toilets, they make parks, all of these things that companies do, even when they're trying to give out to the society itself, and these are non-profit initiatives, investments जिससे उनको return कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है, they know it beforehand only, but this is to create a level of esteem in the users and customers, to create a sort of empathy in the customers, that they also want to be a part of this brand that is giving out so much to the people. So that is the kind of concept it creates. I've already spoken about it before. So for them, even when they're making those decisions, say for example, if JK Bank wanted to invest into a park, so they had to first take the land. Either they had to purchase the land, or they had to take it on lease from the government, and then maintain it, and then assign people, gardeners and all of these people, security guards, and then you have, what do you call it, swings and all of these things, swing sets and all of those things that have to be placed there. So it's like a very huge project. You spend, if not crores, at least lakhs of money, you invest into it. For what though? You don't get profit at all. Whatever money you get, it goes back into the maintenance of the park. So what happens is, even when you take such big decisions, they're not taken by middle level or lower level managers at all. This is all the C-suite, that sits down and decides if this decision is going to affect our company or not, or if we are at a stage that we're going to put so much money into it. So that is what it means by business purchases or investments. 90% of the time, they conduct researches about this particular, to reach to a particular decision via mobile phones only.